What the heck is poopin' H2Os and roller bros alike? I'm your guide Q, and welcome to r/Tales from Retail. And I'm very excited to cover this subreddit. There are some interesting stories, but I'm also not sure if any of them are real because they all have certain plot holes or things that seem suspicious to me. So help me out in this video. Let me know which of these stories you think are real and which of these stories you think are fake. It seems like everybody on this subreddit is just so done with customers and so upset with working in retail that they're just willing to believe anything. So let's get right into it. Never go above and beyond for a customer. Some years ago now, I worked as an assistant manager in a game store. We sold board games, jigsaws, collectible card games, Warhammer, etc. I loved my job, loved gaming, and would give everything I had every shift. We would often go a little above and beyond for customers, gift wrapping gifts, staying open late for tournaments, etc. It was how we worked, and all the staff were dedicated to at least one of the hobbies the store supported. One year close to Christmas, I had a phone call from a customer who lived approximately 30 minutes from the store. This happened in Australia, and it was pretty much 30 minutes to get anywhere in this city. The city was planned, so as a result had excellent roadways that could get you from one side of the city to the other in around 30 minutes. This customer asked me if I could charge her over the phone and gift wrap a popular board game that we had in stock. I agreed and asked her for details to put it aside until she could come in. The customer asked if there was any way we could deliver the gift. She wasn't planning on coming into the city center before Christmas. I asked her address, and it happened to be only a 5-minute detour on my way home. I agreed because she seemed nice on the phone, and I was all about going the extra mile. That evening, I detoured to the customer's house and delivered the game. She seemed happy and thanked me. I drove away feeling good. The next day, we had 4 phone calls for over-the-phone orders and home delivery. She had told her friends that I was happy to deliver no matter where they lived. All these customers lived in the opposite direction to my home. It would take me 30 minutes to get to them, then I would have to turn around and drive all the way back home. I respectfully declined and said it was a one-off offer for a customer that lived near my address. About 40 minutes later, the original customer called back and tore me a new one for making her look like a liar to her friends. She said that she would never shop with us again. I felt really awful after that phone call. I spoke to the store owner who was out of state at the time. He laughed and told me that people will always try to take advantage of a kind gesture and that he was glad that she wouldn't come back again. And I feel like this guy's statement of never go above and beyond for a customer is pretty accurate in general. I've worked as a waiter, and I've always noticed that if you make an exception for one person, they're going to assume that that exception is the rule and tell their friends that's the way it is. I can't tell you how many people I've had come in and be like, oh, we do this all the time, it's totally okay, but it's not okay, and some person made an exception for them, but it's actually against the rules of the restaurant or whatever retail environment you work in, and it ends up just being a huge problem like this. And to me, this story seems completely believable and valid, but don't you worry, we're gonna get into some more ridiculous stories as we move forward. I witnessed fuck you money. This happened to me about a month or so ago, and I'm still relishing in the glory. I work at a large US auto parts store. This is the cast of the story. Me. Moneybags is money symbols, Crazy Lady is CL, and manager is M. Now, Moneybags is a regular customer, and when he comes in, we jump for joy as his purchases are in the thousands of dollars. I am helping Moneybags look up parts and get them for him when Crazy Lady walks in and rushes to the seat cover aisle, where she grabs the ugliest bejeweled faux leather seat cover and rushes up front. Crazy Lady, the prices on these goddamn covers are outrageous. $60 for these? I do agree that the price is high and I would have helped her. Me, ma'am, I will be with you in just a second after I finish helping Moneybags, or my manager will be there in a moment and he will help you. I am sure. No, you will help me now. I have money and you will stop being a lazy f***ing asshole and help me right now. And now I won't help you. Don't cuss me out. Manager walks up. Manager, can I help you, ma'am? Crazy Lady, yes, tell your lazy-ass employee to do his job. At this point, I stop listening to her and continue helping Moneybags. Moneybags points to a seat cover. Do y'all have any more of those? Let me check. Checks. Yes, 3 more besides that one. Can you please get them for me? Okay, I get them. Moneybags addresses Crazy Lady. You gonna buy that? I haven't decided yet. Moneybags grabs it and tells me he wants to buy all 4 with cash. Remember, these are $60 plus tax each. I make the sale. I just want to establish right now that I am correcting for this guy like over and over and over again in this post. Like he says, me gets them, me makes the sale. It's just, it doesn't read well in this sort of format. Moneybags proceeds to take them out of the boxes and cut them into ribbons in front of Crazy Lady and throw them away with a huge smile. He then returned to me to finish his shopping list that ended up being a whopping $4,000 plus sale. He can't do that, says Crazy Lady. Manager, he paid for it so he can. Now leave the store, you are not welcome here anymore. I love my manager's zero tolerance policy on customers cussing out employees. TLDR, man with fuck you money puts Crazy Lady down. Okay, so this is one of the posts where I really want to get your opinion on if you think it's real or not, because it just doesn't seem like a plausible scenario to me. I know that people with FU money can do whatever they want with their money. That's the point of having FU money, but like, why would he buy all of them and then cut them into ribbons? What did he have with him to cut them into ribbons? Like, did he just have a box cutter on him or some scissors? Like, how did he cut them all up? Why did he do that? Why didn't he just like give the $240 to the employee behind the counter for like dealing with this whole scenario? Why did he waste these seat covers even though they're ugly? He could have given them to some tacky people out there that would have really enjoyed them and happen to be really nice people. It just, I don't like it. Like, I feel like just walking out with the seat covers could have given just as much of an FU effect as cutting them up in front of her. I now hate $2 bills. I was working a solo shift at a store, man comes in buying a neck pillow. As we go to the register, he tells me, "Oh, just so you know, I'm paying you in all $2 bills. I'm trying to get rid of them." "Oh, sure, but if I may ask, do you have any other forms of payment today? Item was around $50 and I would have rather gotten 20s or so." Customer looks at me and scoffs. "What? You can't even count in even numbers or something? I would just prefer another payment, but if that's all you have, I will still take it." "Oh, of course you'll take it." He jabs my name tag on my chest and says, "Money is money." I'm like, "Sigh, okay." A little upset that he's being rude, but I just focus on the bills and the computer. He shoves a handful of the bills into my hand. I take some time counting them, sectioning them off into 10 so I can keep track and don't get confused. He sees me doing this and mumbles, "Idiot can't count." I'm human too. I react, of course, and audibly sigh. I look up to try and see if it's genuine. As I do every bill, I get my counterfeit pen out and mark a little spot just to be safe. He says even louder, "So you can't count and you can't tell bills apart? You have skills." At this point, I'm like, screw this guy. I say nothing, but I'm visibly upset and irritated. I finish counting and hand him the extra bills. I put the receipt and his change on the counter and roughly close the cash register and walk away from him. He yells at me, "Honey, if you can't handle customers like me, you shouldn't work retail. No one asked you to work here," and stomps off. Just had to get this off my chest. Also, the reason that I was reluctant to take $2 bills in the first place is that my till and deposit don't count them / have a place for them. TLDR guy tries to pay me all in $2 bills, becomes rude and pissy when I ask for a different form of payment. I don't know, this all comes off sort of fishy to me. I mean, this person is clearly collecting $2 bills. Like, $2 bills are not easy to come by. They're not the rarest thing on the planet, but they're also not super common, and he's collected over 25 $2 bills as he was handed some back in the course of this transaction. But if I'm going to believe this, I'd have to assume that he's just got no other money in his life and he has to use these $2 bills, but then why does he say he's trying to get rid of them? It just screams falsehood to me, and I don't like that this employee is like, "Do you have any other form of payment? I really don't want these $2 bills." I get that your till doesn't count them, but like, every business needs small bills. Like, I've never seen a sign at a store saying, "We need more 20s, we need more 10s, but I've seen so many signs at stores saying small bills preferred, we need change. So I really don't like that he asks for another form of payment from this customer right off the bat when he doesn't establish to the customer, at least in his retelling of the story, that there is a problem, there's no place to put them in the register, they're not counted properly, or whatever. So what is he supposed to assume in this situation? I know that the customer was an ass. This customer was a total douche throughout the transaction, but I feel like this person should have had that customer service sense to know that this person was probably going to be a problem, so try to make the transaction as easy for them as possible so that it can be painless and short and that you don't have to deal with the rest of their BS. But that's just my opinion. As someone who's worked in customer service for 6 years, my usual policy is that if I assume somebody is going to be a problem, I try and give them everything they want within reason to try and minimize all the problems that I can have with them, because at the end of the day, as long as it's within reason, as I think just accepting this dude's $2 bills right off the bat would have been, as much as I hate this phrase, it is going to come back to the customer is always right. As long as it's within reason and they're not asking you to do something against company policy, you should just do it and minimize the problem as much as you can. Not saying that that excuses the behavior of this customer beyond that point, but I just think this person could have squelched the situation if it was even real, which I don't think it was. But I would like to hear your opinions on the validity of these stories and just the situations in general, whether it be making personal deliveries to someone's house and regretting it, the moneybags guy cutting up those seat covers, or this whole $2 bill situation, especially if you have worked in customer service or a retail environment. Let me know if you like this subreddit, Tales from Retail. There's a ton of stories on here. Let me know if you like the idea of questioning the validity and also questioning the opinions of the echo chamber that is this subreddit. Like, I understand retail and customer service frustration, but I feel like these people are very willing to just get on the side of whoever's posting and also just believe anything that is said in this subreddit. But anyway, skate on to the best of your abilities. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I hope you're drinking more water out there, and I will see you very soon.